Daniel here for Tabletop for One. Please join me at the table as I do a solo playthrough of My Little Pony: Adventures in Equestria. And I thank you for joining me for the solo playthrough of My Little Pony. I have gone ahead and set up the game according to the setup rules. I have Applejack as my pony, and I have her card as well as the 9 starter cards in my deck here. I have included 4 situation cards in this deck here. Of course, you include the situation cards after you put out the market row. And now the rules recommend you don't do that on first play, but I say go ahead and put in the 4 cards. I've also chosen this particular final challenge, and it's a level 2 challenge. Again, the rules recommend a level 1, but I recommend going a little bit higher on the difficulty, even just starting out. And then I have a level 1, 2, and 3 hurdle in the hurdle stack here. I have my locations randomly placed here, and of course you start in the town square. All the resource tokens are present here. And so in the solo version of My Little Pony plays like the regular version, in that you are trying to overcome all the hurdles and then overcome the final challenge before the final challenge setback causes you to lose the game. And the way you overcome challenges or the hurdles is by fulfilling the goals here at the top. And this one says that you need 1 pink cube per player. And then you flip 1 hurdle for its added chaos. Now understand, in the solo mode, you count as 2 players even though you play 1 pony. So this means that you need 2 pink sugar cubes. And the threshold for the cloud tokens here says 2 per pony. So in the solo mode, that's 4 total there, because you count as 2 ponies. And adding 2 more to that is 6 for this particular card. Also, when you're flipping chaos for overcoming hurdles later, you count as 2 ponies here as well. And so in this case here, this one says that you need 2 knowledge. So just keep that in mind. Now the threshold for the cloud tokens here on the main final challenge is 2 per pony, so that's 4 plus 5, making it 9. Now on this particular challenge here, situations cost 2 more books to resolve if there are 3 cloud tokens here. If there are 8 cloud tokens here, at the end of the turn, discard all cards in the adventure row with knowledge or movement costs. And to overcome this one, each player must contribute 2 blue sugars, so that's 4. And then flip 2 hurdles for their added chaos. And of course, if you complete that final challenge, then you win the game. Alright, so I've gone ahead and set my deck, shuffled it and everything, and we're ready to go. So when you play this game, you are playing cards out like a deck builder. And your cards are going to have symbols. So on the left side here, you'll see symbols here. And on the bottom part, you might have some text. Now, these are starter cards, so they just have symbols. But some cards, like the ones you see here, will grant extra bonuses. This one in particular gives you a +2 move token. This one over here says, you may drop some beats to have a target player draw 1 card. I don't know about dropping beats, but that's an option there. And so there's different cards that you can gain, and some of these will give you straight up sugar cubes. So this one will give you 1 blue sugar cube when you play it. This one over here gives you a green one. And also the top right of each of these is their cost. And so when you play your cards, you're going to have to pay for those. So we'll go ahead and start the turn here, and you'll gather how this plays as I go along. And so on my 5 cards here, I have a total of 6 effort. That's what the horseshoe is there. And so I'm looking at buying some cards, I think. Now I can, if I want, use some of this to do tasks, and on each of the locations there are various tasks. On the center location, the town square, these are repeatable, so you can do them as often as you want. The other ones in the other locations are one-time use tasks, and you'll see how those work as we use them. Now, I'm stuck in the center location until I move out to another location. And to move to another location, you have to pay the movement cost in the upper right-hand corner. Since my starting 5 cards do not have any movement on them, I cannot move away at this time. But I can, however, use the task at the bottom here, which says pay 3 effort to gain a +2 effort, +2 knowledge, or +2 movement token. And I think I'll go ahead and do that. So 3 of my effort here is going to grant me a knowledge token. So I'll set that here. Now tokens can be spent at any time for their value, or you can flip it over and spend it for one of any of the 3 different stats. All right. Now I still have 3 effort left, and I think I'm going to go ahead and buy this card here, because I do like drawing extra cards each turn. On top of that, this gives 1 effort and 1 move. So that's going to go straight into my discard pile. And now at this point, I've played all my cards. So now at the end of my turn, I'm going to put 1 cloud symbol on the hurdle. Now, if this had triggered the setback, meaning I'd reached that threshold, which is 6 on this particular card, then I would trigger the setback. If this had already maxed out prior, in the turn prior, then any added cloud tokens will go straight to the final challenge. So you definitely want to handle the hurdles as soon as possible so that you aren't adding tokens to the final challenge. But since this is just the first token of the turn, it's not going to affect me much at all. And so now we discard the 5 cards here. Then we're going to draw 5 new ones. Now, if I had any cards in my hand that I didn't use, they would get discarded as well. And now we start a new turn. And at the beginning of the round, you're going to check to see if any cards were bought, or if there are any empty spaces. And in this case, there are. And so what you do is you slide everything down, and then you're going to draw a new card to go in that space. Now, if I had not bought a card, or if none were removed from that row, then I would take the furthest right card out, move everything down, and draw a new card to fill that space. All right, so let's go ahead and check out my new cards here. And so I have these 2 here, which, if you can see here, give me 2 movement. There's little movement arrows. Kind of hard to see in that particular art. I've got another 3 effort here, and then I have 2 books. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to play the knowledge card out, the 2 books, because I am going to use the task in the town square. And the town square says, pay 2 knowledge to remove 1 card from your discard pile from the game. All right, so my discard pile has a whole bunch of these helpful town ponies, and these are probably some of the weakest cards in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that from my deck. Of course, as a deck builder, when you remove weaker cards from the game, you gain the ability to draw your more powerful cards more often. Okay, so I still have 2 movement and 3 effort. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the 3 effort to buy the Party Goer card. And this is the one that when I play it, I gain a +2 move token. All right. And then I'm going to spend my 2 movement, actually just one of those 2 movement, to move to the Carousel Boutique. And maybe I can use one of these tasks in the next turn. All right, so it's the end of the round. We're going to add a cloud token to the hurdle, and we're going to discard my cards. Now that I have no draw pile here, I'm going to shuffle my deck and draw 5 new cards. Alright, and then we're going to move the market row down again and draw a new card. Okay. So here we go in the next round. And now I have a lot of effort. I have 6 total. And so what I want to do is I want to buy this artifact card. Now, artifact cards are unique cards that have an ongoing ability. And what that means is that when you play it, it stays out the rest of the game, unless something otherwise discards it. But in general, it stays out the rest of the game. Now, this particular card here says that ongoing, I draw 6 cards at the end of my turn instead of 5. So I'm going to have extra cards every turn, and I think that would be worth it. Now, this here is my starter card that I'm playing right now. And it says that each time I complete a non-repeatable task this turn, I draw 1 card. Well, I'm not doing any non-repeatable tasks, and so that's going to have no effect. But I do spend my 6 effort here to gain this card. It goes in my discard pile. And then we end the round, which means we are adding 1 more cloud token to this hurdle. So we're halfway to that hurdle causing a setback, so we gotta be careful. And then we're gonna go ahead and discard my cards here and draw 5 new cards. And then we start the new round by fixing the market row, and we're ready to go. Okay, and so now I'm gonna play this card, which says I may drop some beats to have a target player draw 1 card. I'm not very good at dropping beats, so how about if I just gain the card? So I draw the card here, and that's going to go into my hand. This next one here is going to give me that +2 move token, so I add that here. Alright, so I still have 1 effort and 1 move currently available, and I have 2 move in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and play those. That's going to give me 3 move that I need to move to the castle of the 2 sisters. And we're going to go here, and on this one here, it says, this task says I can pay 2 effort to have target player gain 1 sugar cube, 1 pink one. And I have 2 effort in my hand, so I'll go ahead and do that. And I'm going to gain that pink sugar cube. And then we take one of these check marks here, and we place it on that task. Now that task cannot be completed again. And then I have 2 knowledge left, and I really want blue skies right there. This card here, which grants 1 blue sugar when played. I really want that because the final challenge requires blue sugar, so I think if I start building some blue sugar now, that might be helpful. But that was only 2 knowledge, so I'm going to have to spend this 2 knowledge token or this one as 1 knowledge. And I think I'll spend this one as 1 knowledge here. And so that will give me the blue skies card, adding it to my discard pile. And at this point, I have nothing else I can do this turn. And so we're going to add 1 cloud token to the hurdle, discard my cards, and we're going to have to shuffle again and redraw. Alright, and then we're going to move the market row down, adding a card. We check to see if any of the locations have full check marks. This one only has 1, so it doesn't get removed yet. But if this was full, if I'd used all of these tasks, then I would, if I'm here, I would automatically get moved to the town square and in this location removed and a new location drawn. That may happen later in the game, we'll see. But here we are, ready for the next round, and this is my hand here. Now I have that artifact card. And so that artifact card is going to grant me that ongoing ability of drawing 6 cards at the end of my turn. So I'm going to go ahead and place it out here. I'm going to place it in this spot right here, just kind of out of the way, but to remind me. And then I have 4 effort and 1 move that I can use. Now what's pretty amazing is in this scenario here, I can do this bottom task. It says pay 6 effort to gain 3 sugar cubes. pay 2 less effort for each artifact you control. Well, I currently control the 1 artifact, so it's only going to cost me 4 effort. And in that case, I'm going to gain the 3 cubes. So I'm going to gain 1 pink one, because I need 2 for this hurdle. And then I'm going to gain 2 blue ones, because I want to build towards that final challenge eventually. And we'll go ahead and place that token there. And I think at this point, I will spend my move to go here. Again, you're just paying the movement cost of the location you're going to. And you can go, they don't have to be next to each other. I can go from here to here if I want to. It doesn't matter where the location is on the board. All right, so that's going to end the turn, and we're adding another cloud cube onto this hurdle. We are 1 cloud token away from causing a setback, but I think we're going to challenge it this next turn because I have my 2 sugar cubes. All right, so I'll discard these cards here, and now I get to draw 6 cards because of my ongoing artifact ability. So we'll put those there. Discard the market row card because nothing was bought this round. Move everything down. Draw a new one. Once again, we don't remove this location yet because there's one more task I can complete there. All right. So now, when you try to overcome a hurdle, you have to be prepared to the possibility of losing and her not overcoming it. And that actually ends your turn. Either way, your turn's going to end. And so you have to be prepared for it. And you need more than just what it says to overcome. It says I need 2 pink sugar cubes to overcome this, but it says I need to flip 1 hurdle for its added chaos. And so the added chaos could be an extra sugar cube or 2. It could be some knowledge. It could be effort. It could be move. And so you're going to end up using some of the cards in your hand for that. And so if you play any cards now, they get discarded when you try to overcome a hurdle. So you don't want to play the cards you think are going to help you overcome that hurdle. But in this case here, I'm going to go ahead and play this one first because it doesn't give me any stats here. It just gives me a move token, which of course could prove useful in overcoming the hurdle. So I've done that there, and I'm ready to try to overcome that hurdle. So we have to discard everything that we played. And now we are going to flip over 1 hurdle for its added chaos. And you're going to look at this bottom right corner here. And it says +2 hurdle +2 effort per pony. So that means I have to spend 4 effort to overcome. And in my hand, I only have 3 effort here. And so what that means is I have to use one of these 2 tokens here as 1 effort, flipping it over here. And that means I've overcome the hurdle. So at that point, we get to look at this card here, discarding these tokens here, and we gain the reward on here. So the active player may gain 1 ally or action from the adventure row. Also, I do have to spend my my 2 pink sugar cubes. And so I'm going to look at this here and see what would be most helpful. And I do like my plus movement cards and my draw an extra card. So I think I'm going to go with this ally here. You'll see it says ally in the top corner. And so I'm going to add that to my discard pile. Any hurdles or cards used for chaos, you're going to discard aside. All right, so that ends my turn. And anytime you complete a hurdle in a turn, you're not going to add a cloud token this turn. So nothing gets added there. We're going to go ahead and move this down, add 1 here. And now, at this point, we're going to flip this over. I, of course, should have drawn my cards. Okay, so with this new hurdle, It has a threshold of a total of 5. And then I need 2 pink cubes per player, then flip 1 hurdle for added chaos. Now, if I get the reward, it's going to be +1 pink and +1 blue sugar cube, so that'll be nice. But I only have 5 rounds to do this before the setback hits. And so now I'm going to show you how to use your character ability. On your card here, you're going to find that it has an ability. It says flip and pay 2 movement to have target player gain 1 pink sugar cube. Of course, you can target yourself. And so I have 2 movement here in my hand. I'll go ahead and spend it. I'm going to flip this over here, and that's going to grant me a pink sugar cube. Now, if I want to flip this back, I had to pay 1 of each resource to flip it back. And just note that you can only activate each side once per turn, so I can't keep flipping back over and over and over. And then my blue skies card showed up, so now I get a blue sugar cube. And then my starting card showed up, so I have 2 effort there, and if I use the task right now, I'm going to draw an extra card. And then I have 3 more effort, so we have a total of 5 effort here. And I don't think I'm going to need to use my ability on my character's card at this point, because I think I'm going to use the 5 effort to buy a card. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and spend the 5 effort on this card here. It's a pet card. Now, pet cards have a nice bonus to stats here, so this is a 3 effort card, but it also gives a bonus if a particular pony is in play, as in Rainbow Dash here, but I'm playing with Applejack, so I'm never going to get this bonus, but having that 3 extra effort is going to be very helpful. Also, sometimes there are effects that benefit if you have a pet in play. And in fact, this location here says that you can pay 8 effort to gain 3 sugar cubes, pay 2 less for each pet you control. So that might prove useful for me. So now we're at the end of the round, and we're going to add a cloud token there. And then we're going to discard my cards, drawing 6 more. Again, 6 because of my artifact there. And then we're going to shift everything down, draw a new card, and start this round. Thankfully, I haven't drawn any situation cards. Situation cards are cards that you have to deal with, or they start adding the cloud tokens to your final challenge, and you really don't want to deal with that. So, all right, so these are the cards I have here. We have the Party Goer card that gives me 1 movement token. I also have this one here that's going to grant me a card. I can draw a card, so gain that one there. And I have your favorite card. I know I know you want me to drop some beats. Let me give it a shot. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is My Little Pony. I speak no baloney, 'cause I ain't no phony. Yes, I'm the real brony. There you go. I dropped the beats. I get to draw a card. So now I gotta shuffle this and draw a card. I am so sorry I put you through that, but you asked for it. All right, so now I get that pet card here. Very interesting. Might be using this right now. So I've got 3 movement. I think I'm gonna go ahead and move here. And so now I just need a total of 6 effort to gain 3 sugar cubes. Well, I've got 2 more here, so that's 6 total here. And that's going to gain me 3 sugar cubes. So we'll put a check mark here. And so I'm going to gain 3 pink ones, because I need 4 pink total for that hurdle. And so I have 1 movement, 1 effort, and 2 knowledge left to use. And I think I'll use that to flip over my character's card. And that's going to end the turn. So we're going to add a cloud token here. We're going to discard this card here. We're going to discard my hand. and draw 6 cards. Got 5 here. Need to shuffle again. All right. So, no, I'm not going to drop the beats again. But I will drop this card to draw another one. All right, we have blue skies again. That's going to grant me another blue sugar cube. All right, so at this point, I have these cards in my hand. I have a total of 8 effort and 2 movement. And so I want to spend one of those movements to move back to the town square. Then I'm going to spend the 3 effort to gain, I think, another knowledge token would be best. And now I'm going to try to overcome that hurdle. So I'm going to discard all the cards that I have in play. It's going to cost me these 4 pink cubes. We'll set them aside there. If I fail the hurdle, I don't lose anything, but my turn does end. And so now I need to flip over 1 card for added chaos. And the card says that I need 4 effort. All right, well, that's not too bad because in my hand, I actually have 5 effort. And so we're going to discard those and we're going to overcome this hurdle. And so discard my 4 sugar cubes as well. And now I gain 1 sugar cube or 1 pink and 1 blue sugar cube. Perfect. That was great. And so that's going to end my turn. Of course, at this point, I would have added a cloud token if there was a hurdle face up here, but since I eliminated a hurdle this round, I don't have to add one. I'm going to draw my 6 cards, which I have here. And then we're going to go on to the new round, discarding a card. And we're going to flip over this new hurdle. All right, so this one says 2 cloud tokens per pony. So we only have 4 that we can get on this one. Now I need a total of 3 blue sugar cubes per player. Wow, that's a lot. So that's going to be 6 total because I count as 2. Goodness. And then I flip 1 hurdle for its added chaos, and the reward is the active player gains an ally or action from the adventure row. Okay, so we need 6 blue sugar cubes. That's a lot. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is gain a movement token here. Then I get to draw a card. And so that means I have to shuffle my deck one more time. I love the draw cards because you cycle through your deck so quickly. So I gain that card here. I'm going to go ahead and use this 2 movement for my character ability. Once again, I spend 2 movement and flip this card to gain a sugar cube. So I'm going to gain a pink one there. And so I'm going to use the task on the town square to spend 3 effort to gain a token. And this time we'll gain an effort token. Stocking up on a lot of tokens there. And then I have 2 knowledge and 1 movement left. But I don't think I want to do anything more at this time. And so I'm going to go ahead and end the turn. We're going to add 1 cloud token there. Discard the cards. Draw 6 more. And reset the market row. Oh no, we got our first situation. Alright, so the situation is Shadow Bolts. And it says during your end phase, add 1 cloud to the final challenge. To resolve, I need to pay 4 movement. And my teammates, well, I have no teammates, but if I did, they could spend resource tokens to help me. Oh, 4 movement. Well, I do have the 4 movement tokens. I don't know if I want to spend them all right now. But I suppose I probably should. First, I'm going to play DJ Pony, and it's going to let me draw a card. Oh, nice. I got blue skies, which is going to give me a blue sugar cube. Wow. I've got the 6 blue sugar cubes that I need to try and overcome that hurdle. But I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. Okay, so I don't have enough movement in my hand to deal with that situation. So I'm going to go ahead and spend both of my movement tokens, which is a total of 4 movement. and remove that, because I do not want it adding anything to the final challenge. And now I do have one movement here that's going to allow me to move over to the Carousel Boutique. And I am going to spend 2, 4 effort to gain 1 sugar cube of a color I do not have. We'll gain the green one there. That'll use up a task token. And then I'm going to spend this 4 effort here to gain this one, Scootaloo, which is a Crusader card, and the target player gains a +2 move token. I do like my move tokens. And then last but not least, I have a move card here. I do not think I want to use it at this time, so I'm going to go ahead and discard it. Alright, so now we're going to add a cloud token there. And then we're going to shuffle and redraw. And we're just adding cards to these empty spaces here. Thank goodness, not another situation. Alright, so I got Blue Skies again, which is going to give me another blue sugar cube. And I'm half tempted to try and overcome that hurdle. This is what my hand is here. And so I think I'll play this one here for the movement token, because I think that's worth it. But then I have 3 effort and 1 movement in my hand that I can use towards overcoming that hurdle. I think I'll go ahead and do that. And so I'm going to discard these 2 cards that I've already played. And we're going to flip over 1 hurdle for its added chaos. Oh no, it's the sugar cube chaos. So it's +1 sugar cube per pony. Again, I count as 2. Well, that's 2 sugar cubes. Thankfully, I do have enough. So we're going to spend the 3, 6 blue that we need, and then 2 other sugar cubes. I guess we'll go with the pink and the green. So I do have enough to overcome the hurdle, and this hurdle is going away. The reward says that I can gain an action or an ally, which is the blue or the purple cards. And I think the one I'm going to gain is this one here for its high effort value. Okay, so that ends my turn because I overcame a hurdle. We don't add a cloud token here yet because I did overcome a hurdle this turn. From here on out, though, I will be adding cloud tokens to this, and if it gets to 9, I will lose. And I'm going to go ahead and reset the market. And I redrew my hand of 6 cards. Okay, so now at this point, I need 2 blue sugar cubes for each player. Of course, that's 4 for me. But then there are 2 hurdles that are going to be flipped for chaos. First of all, we got DJ Pony. We're going to draw a card. We got the Party Goer. That's going to give me a move token. I'm going to spend this 1 movement here, so I have 2 movement. And that's going to let me draw a card with this task here. So we'll go ahead and draw another card. Now, next thing I want to do is complete this task. And it says, pay 8 effort to gain 2 sugar cubes. Pay 2 less effort for each moon you control. Now, I currently control 1 moon. You'll see at the top of this card here, it shows the moon icon. Some of them show other icons. There's stars and others. So I have 1 moon. So it's only going to cost me 6 now. I have 1 effort currently in play. I'm going to play my Applejack starter card. And then the tank. And that's going to give me the total of 6 I need. On top of that, the Applejack starter card will trigger because I will be doing a non-repeatable task, which allows me to draw another card. So we'll place that there. I'll draw the card, and I will gain the 2 sugar cubes. Now I have 3 blue sugar cubes. And then I'm going to play this card here. Lets me move 2, but I also get to draw a card. So I'm going to have to shuffle my cards again and draw a card to my hand, which is this one here. Now this one lets me go ahead and gain a movement token. And the 2 movement I spent earlier, I'm going to go over here. The 1 movement plus the 1 effort plus 1 knowledge off of this 2 is going to flip my character card. I'm going to spend 2 movement here to flip it back over, but I'm going to gain a pink sugar. And then I have 1 knowledge left over from that, which this task says pay 3 knowledge to have a target player gain 1 blue sugar cube. And so I'm going to spend this 2 knowledge plus the 1 there to gain the blue sugar cube, and we'll put a check mark there. And then at the end of that, I have 3 effort left over. I don't think I need to spend it on anything at this point. I could buy a card, but I think I'm good for the rest of the game. And so now I'm going to add a cloud token to the final challenge. I'm going to draw 6 cards. And then I'll reset the market row. And now I have to remove this location because all of the tasks have been completed. And I will add a new location to the board. Now at this point, I got to strongly consider that perhaps I should try to overcome the final challenge. And so I'm going to first play Blue Skies, which is granting me another blue sugar cube. And so I'm going to go ahead and attempt to overcome the final challenge. I need 4 blue sugar cubes, which I have 4. I have 5 actually, and I have 2 pink ones. These are the cards in my hand that I can use. I have to discard Blue Skies here. But these cards here, I've got 6 effort and 1 movement. But I've got to flip over 2 hurdle cards for their chaos. So the first one here says 1 book per pony. So I need 2 books. And this other one says 1 sugar cube per pony. Well, check this out. I've got the 2 books and I've got the extra sugar cubes. And I have overcome the final challenge and won the day for My Little Pony. And so this has been a solo playthrough of My Little Pony, Adventures in Equestria, the deck building game. Please comment below and let me know what you think of the game. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you like the content you see here. And I thank you so much for watching Tabletop for One, and have a great night.